It's pizza time, and it's pineapple time, the nemesis. Where's Pineapple Man? Okay, so we're going to make a pizza today. I did try to make a pizza a couple of weeks ago, and it went fine. The battery on the phone on you that I'm looking at right now in this empty kitchen. It's just me and you, and yet we make these videos like everybody's watching, which hopefully they are. Anyway, enough of that analysis. We're making pizza today. We're making pizza today. Pineapple on pizza. We'll talk about that in a minute. But pizza is such an interesting thing. I nearly went Italian then. I'm not doing that. That's such a cliche. Pizza is such an interesting thing. You can have all sorts of pizzas, and I think, does a pizza say a lot about you? Well, I think pizza toppings, you can relate to football, and obviously football is a big thing for me. I think with you've got your Hawaiian pizza, which can have pineapple on it, ham on it, pep, very jazzy. You've got your cheese and tomato, boring, plain Burnley. You've got your meat feast, which is, I don't know, it's Liverpool this season. They're certainly doing very, very well. I like a good meat feast. Also you've got your vegetarian pizza, Arsenal. Take it as you leave it. But anyway, look, let's get on with this. Does pineapple belong on a pizza? Well, you're going to see how I make a pizza, homemade. I'm not going to pick up my phone and bring up Domino's. They're closed. But I'm still going to do it homemade. Does pineapple go on pizza? You know what? Can I just shock you? I do like pineapple on a ham and pineapple pizza because I've got a sweet tooth. I probably am going to do some desserts on here eventually. I like sweet things. And I think pineapple on pizza, pineapple with a bit of gammon, cranberry sauce with your turkey Christmas dinner, plum sauce with your duck, apple sauce with your pork. I could go on and on and on and on. Marmalade with your fish and chips. I love it. I don't like that last one. I was just trying to be spontaneously funny, and it probably backfired. 50-50. But pineapple on pizza, not today, mate. Not after you did in Mallorca. You can forget about it. But I do like pineapple on pizza, and I wouldn't be opposed to doing it. But some people are very, very opposed to doing it, aren't they? And yeah, for those people today, I might have taken the piss out of vegetarians a little bit over the last few weeks. But I'll tell you what, I had a bloody great vegetarian chili this week. It's so good, I just don't think I'd make a video about it because no one would watch. Because vegetarian food is, what's the word? It's nice, but let's be honest, nobody really wants to watch it. Anyway, let's crack on. Pizza, let's go. Seb's trying to get in the kitchen. You can't have kids around cooking. It's bad enough with me. Anyway, we're back. We're around the cooker, which is great for cooking with Goldbridge. And we're all about the bass, no treble, no treble. We're all about the bass, no treble. Okay, a pizza without its base is like Christmas without presents. You can do it. It's not as good. Let's be selfish. We want it to be as good as possible. So, the base is the tomato base. You could use tomato puree. You could even use tomato ketchup. Oh, God. Horrible. But you could make it yourself. You could even buy it in a jar if you want to be lazy. So to make it yourself, an onion chopped, garlic, 2 cloves chopped, pop it on a medium heat 5 minutes with a bit of, say a tablespoon of olive oil or something like that. Let it cook for 5 minutes, then add in a tin of chopped tomatoes and probably 5 or 6 basil leaves. Ooh, what are you putting green stuff in for, Goldbridge? You're trying to get the vegetarian vote again. I'm not. I'm trying to add a little bit of taste to my base. Put that in, 10 minutes. When it's done, you're going to process it down so that it looks something like that, which will then become the base on the pizza. So you can talk about and argue about whether you're putting pineapple on it, ham on it, starbursts on it, whatever you want. But if you haven't got the right base, you haven't got what you need. And that's what you need. So make sure you've got that. Because ultimately, a pizza without its tomato base is like Ant without Dec. It's like Boris without Dominic, political. It's like Batman without Robin. It's like a pizza without its tomato base. It won't be the same, and that's a fact. Right, we've got our base. Let's put it on our pizza dough and start building our pizza. Don't know why I'm doing that. Keep looking at the camera and walk away. Okay, we're going to do the dough. The dough. I like doing the dough because when you get to the dough and you start kneading it, it's really, like them squidgy things. You can really let your frustration out. Those Champions League FIFA final losses, Burnley. It's all about that for me. Apologies for the light today. It is mid-May, it is the start of June, but in England, sometimes in June, the weather likes to treat it like it's mid-autumn. So it's dark, it's very dark, but you know, whatever. Anyway, so we've got our flour. I've made a trough in the middle. Some people call it a well, but I like to call it a trough. Unorthodox. A teaspoon of sugar and a teaspoon of salt. That goes in. And then we've got our sachet of yeast. This is like Harry Potter dust, I call it, because yeast is the thing that you put into bread to make it bread. That goes in. And we want 2 teaspoons. Yes, I don't know where this came from. I'd like to say I've been sponsored by it, but it will be one of the wife's things. 2 teaspoons of oil, and that's gone in. Tablespoons, not teaspoons. The ingredients will be in the bottom. I've got my assistant to do that. And then I've got some of this thing you call water. It's definitely water. Water, which we're just going to gradually get in. And I've got a spoon now, and I'm just going to start spooning it. And this is going to start to make your dough. So everything's in there, and we're gradually going to add some more water. And eventually I'm going to get my hands in there, which need to be clean at this stage. But at the moment, we've got all those ingredients. We're just going to add the water in and start stirring it in, because this is going to make the dough. Now, what is dough? Basically, dough is cooked bread stuff that goes on the bottom of the pizza. You know, like your double crust, thin crust, puff crust. No, that's puff pastry. Anybody else? Cheese lined crust, bread crust. So yeah, it's starting to work a little bit, that. Stirring it up, and we're starting to get to the point where it's starting to become a little bit, I'd say it's starting to become a little bit pastry-ish, but it's not a pastry, it's a dough. It's starting to become doughy, it's starting to become sticky. A little bit more bread and we're almost there. In fact, not a little bit more bread. Don't add bread to your dough, that just won't work. Imagine getting a bit of Hovis and breaking it up into your flour, it just won't work. That's the finished article. We're making the article. So, right, I've put all my bread in there now. Time to roll your sleeves up. My annoying jewellery around my neck, around my wrist is going to now make this annoying. But as you can see, we're just going to start kneading in that dough, gathering everything up together. Sticky. This is like a squishy now. Sean Dyche, bloody Burnley, Atletico Madrid, 6-1 at half time. You're having a bloody laugh. The ref's a cheat. Brown envelopes. Sean Dyche, bloody Burnley. Here we go. We're starting to get our dough going, which is great. What we're next going to do, now we've got everything into one big doughy ball, we're going to get our flour and roll it out and make our base. Don't worry about the spaghetti in the background, that's got nothing. We're not putting spaghetti on pizza, bloody hell, that's just Seb's tea. But what's in this bowl here? So, we did the little bit of kneading. What I did is, I've turned the bowl upside down, I took the dough out, I put some flour down, and I just kneaded it for about 2 more minutes. And now it's going to it's proving itself. That doesn't mean it's trying to show off to me, it's going to beat its way out of that glass bowl. It's not a challenge. I've not put the glass bowl over the top of it so it can prove itself by knocking it on the floor. That's not going to happen. If it did happen, I'm a millionaire. I've got a piece of dough that's a genius. But no, proving is something in the baking world which just means depriving it of air and allowing it to expand with the yeast, I think. So basically, some people have a proving drawer. So basically that's going to go in for about 10 minutes. Just stop the air getting in, turn your bowl upside down, leave your dough in there, and it will prove itself. And as I said, as I restate this, it's not proving its innocence or anything like that. It's not proving a point. And it's only going to take 10 minutes to prove itself, which is a lot less than what Arsenal fans spend on Twitter trying to prove that they're a big club anymore. Yes, I said it, I'm off. No replies, no replies. Right, we're at the critical bit, and we're going to go through the critical bit to the cooker. So there's lots of elements here. We've got ingredients to go on top of the pizza in a minute. Pineapple get in the bin. But yeah, okay, so we've got our bit of dough that's proved. And I've split it in two actually, because we're doing 2 pizzas, one for me and the wife and one for the kids. So, but what we want to do is, I've got it sort of in a shape like that. It's like a massive 10p piece really. Bit of flour on there. And what we're going to do now is we're going to roll out our shape of our dough base. So roll it, start rolling. And what you're looking for here is your shape. What do you want? What do you want from your base? For me, it's not about how thick it is, it's about how long it is. Yeah, I knew people would start moaning about that one, but it's true. It's about how your shape of your pizza base that you want. And you know, to be honest with you, I'm not that picky. I just want it to be the right shape, and I want it to be big. And I'm not doing a great job here, but I'm trying to get a sort of pizza shape. Rolling, 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 you're high. I used to hate all that crap growing up, Bonanza. But I do like westerns. I think Tombstone's a cracking film. I think Val Kilmer should have won an Oscar for his portrayal of, not betrayal, portrayal of Doc Hollywood. Very good film. Anyway, this is starting to look more like a heart, which I'll say I did on purpose. Getting the good books, and we're starting to get there. I'm starting to get the shape of the pizza. And as I say, I'm not a really big fan of thin crust pizza, but this might well be that. So we're almost there. We've nearly got a nice round pizza base, and I'm going to do something here that, if it works, will look very good. I'm just going to roll up the edge. Ha ha! It's not going to work. Ha ha! It will work. So there it is. I'm taking it over here onto my baking tray where I put some baking powder down. It works, people. It works. I'm going to bring my baking tray over here. Baking paper, pizza base, and now it's all about the base, because we're going to put the tomato base on here. And you can start to think about here now, what's your favourite pizza? Because you can make it too. But first of all, get your tomato, and it's a bit like painting with tomato. Don't do that, your walls will stink and eventually go off. And nobody wants walls like that. So there we go, we've got our tomato base on there. Bit of basil in for the vegetarians. And a little bit more there. Doesn't have to be a ridiculously, thick layer, which mine is a little bit here. And I tell you what, I'm salivating at this. It's like a Bruno Fernandes free kick. Right, grated cheddar. This is a bit part going on top of there now. Sprinkles. This is great. I normally would cut away here, but we're actually constructing the pizza, which is great. So sprinkles of cheddar cheese. This is going to be what I call a rustic pizza. Domino's would go, if you want a Domino's pizza, order it. If you want to make your own, I always think it's better. We've then got some cheese that I can't remember what it's called. Bits of it. Mozzarella. It's just a different type of cheese. Do you like cheese? And this is like decoration, really. You want to think about slices of your pizza. I've got some chopped ham here. That's going on. Yeah. So what you can guess, it's not a vegetarian pizza. It's not. So it's ham. It's ham and cheese at the moment. But we're pimping this pizza up a bit. I'm going to eat it though. It's not going to go on a street corner. I'm not that sort of pimp. This is just pimping up a pizza, not for sale. Just for my enjoyment. I'm eating this one. So there's your ham all over as well, lovely jubbly. I've then got some pizza pepperoni slices. Doesn't have to be pizza pepperoni. You can get pepperoni that doesn't say pizza. That's banging. A few slices of that. Oh yeah, this is looking good. This is looking good. I should have worked in a pizza place. Could have done some jive talking. You know what I mean? So we've got our pizza here, and then I've got some barbecue chicken pieces as well. Now, basically I'm going for a meat feast here, aren't I? Let's be honest. And I've just thought of, you know, you could have normal chicken, but I thought the barbecue chicken just adds it in. You could add bits of beef on there as well. Make sure it's, this is sweet and smoked. This is like chicken that you could eat straight away, look. Not raw, that's what I'm saying. Like pepperoni's not raw, ham's not raw, is it? And this chicken's not raw. It's just good to go on top of my pizza. And when it goes in the oven, because it's not going to go in the oven for particularly long, it's going to look good. So it's a proper meat feast, this. Yeah, and if you are going to add meat on it, better to add cold cooked meats. Do not add raw meats, because you will end up not feeling very well, because by the time it takes to cook the raw meat on the pizza will be burned. So there it is. That's my meat feast. That's going in the oven. Don't worry, I'm not going to not do it. We walk over to the oven, we open the oven, it's on 200 degrees. In it goes. You're going to be cutting back to me in a minute with a beautiful pizza. But don't cook it for a minute, that's just the way I'm going to cut and edit the video. Cook it in there for a good 10-15 minutes. In fact, I don't actually know, I'm going to have to ask the wife about this one, but I'll let you know in the next bit. But it's got to be in there for a few minutes at least. And there it is, absolutely perfectly out of the cooker. I say perfectly, look. This ain't no Domino's, this ain't no Goodfellas, this ain't no, what's the other one, Pizza Hut. This is rustic pizza made at home, made with your own dough, with your own tomato sauce and your own toppings. And that's it, 15 minutes in the oven, 220 degrees, out it comes. The little bits of meat starting to crunch a little bit, the cheese melted. That is going to taste superb, absolutely superb. And I've got me Caesar salad with it, probably have a bit of garlic bread as well, maybe a glass of white wine, maybe just a fruit shoot. But that is lovely, I can't wait to tuck in. And there we are, Goldbridge and his pizza from a different angle with a bit of a light in front of me. Look, get in the comments, let me know what you want me to cook next. Thanks everyone for watching, subscribe, smash a like. I just want to say as well, I want to dedicate this to my wife, who will also be eating the pizza. I wouldn't have done the video if it weren't for her today, because I had a little bit of a Gordon Ramsay tantrum about the lighting and a few other things, and I was like, forget it, I'm not going to do it, let's just order a pizza. And she was like, no, you can do it, and she helped out behind the scenes massively, like she does every week. So thanks very much to her. Give her some thanks in the comments, but thanks to everyone for watching. Make sure you get comments in for next week what you'd like me to have a go at, because we've done curry, we've done fish and chips, we've done pizza. I'm not getting emotional, I've got an itch. And we'll be back next week. Thanks everyone for watching.